Love you, girl.
I'm an addict, recovering from the dis-ease of addiction. My name is Anntionette B.
Hi, Antoinette.
I want to thank the programming committee, Maligna, for inviting me out here. This is my first time in PA. And I went through it today. I had a really rough day. I left my luggage at the bus, inside the bus, and I had to go back and wait 5 hours. And I mean, sometimes, the lower power try to distract us from doing things, But when God got a purpose for your life, and he wants you to be somewhere, can't nobody stop it. I'm so grateful. I can't thank God enough. I can't thank God enough for all he's done for me. This is my 27th year living with full-blown AIDS. It's also my 6th year in remission from severe stomach cancer. Yes. I'm so grateful.
Yes.
I'm so grateful. God is so good. No, good done played out. God is awesome.
Yeah.
God scraped me up. A disease-infested addict like me, living with AIDS, cancer, herpes, hepatitis C. He scraped me up. He scraped me up. And I'm so glad that God gave me grace and mercy instead of justice, because if he had given me justice, I wouldn't be here. I would not be here had he given me justice. If I tell you the truth about me, they say this is a program of unconditional love. If I tell you the truth about me, will you still love me? I can't hear you.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you the truth anyway. Because that's how it works.
Yes.
Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And I'm talking about honesty on a deeper level. Not that superficial stuff. That honesty on a deeper level, because you see, the lower power tries to plant a seed of infirmation and condemnation into our spirit. He wants us to feel weak. He wants us to feel unworthy. He wants us to stay weak and feeble. I'm a product of incest. I'm originally from Darlington, South Carolina. My mother and father are blood brother and sister. My mother and father were pedophiles that used to rape, kidnap, molest, sodomize little girls, little boys, babies. And I remember the horror, I remember the pain, but there was nothing I could do about it because the same thing was happening to me. I didn't know then that I had a dis-ease that would try to rob me of all my hopes, my dreams, my goals, my talents, my skills, my attributes, my aspirations. Mirror, mirror on the wall. That mirror isn't there at all. The pain inside the mirror that I see, the pain was not in the mirror. The pain was inside me. And I share that to say, I'm going to talk about the plant fields of my life. You know, where words got planted in the spirit. That's why they say, you got to be careful what you say to people. Because words have power. And they plant seeds into the spirit. And words was planted into my spirit at an early age. Words like, you ugly, you stupid, you ain't never going to be nothing, you got a big nose. Oh, you just so ugly. And you don't have to be recovering from the dis-ease of addiction from a drug to have the dis-ease of addiction. Because my mother, she didn't drink. But that didn't stop her from holding me over the toilet at 4 years old and letting men sodomize me in every hole I had. It didn't stop her from holding my head between her legs. She didn't drink. And all I ever wanted was my mother to love me. And like I said, I remember the horror. I remember the pain. But there was nothing I could do about it because a lot of those children didn't make it. And the same thing was happening to me. I was being sold. I was being molested. I was being turned out by my mother and father. Eventually, my mother and father, they went to jail. They got caught up with, because back then in those days, they didn't have rules like they have now with children. And we lived in the backwoods. My mother and father wealthy, they had money from that business they had of selling children and babies on the black market. They finally went to jail. And when they came out of jail, they got ran out the South because they wasn't playing that stuff in Darlington, South Carolina. They were ran out the South. They was in the papers, found out they were brother and sister. It was a big thing. And we came to New York. And when we came to New York, my mother and father disowned me. My mother and father separated. My mother remarried. I have other siblings. As a matter of fact, I'm the oldest. I have 7 brothers and 7 sisters out here. They walk past me every day in recovery and don't speak to me because I live with AIDS. So I'm telling you, just because I'm in recovery does not mean that the reality of my life has changed. It's just that I have some coping skills today to manage, cope, identify my reality. I grew up in those tunnels. They used to call us mole people. And let me tell you something. Anything that happened to me, I try to find a blessing in it because I believe that everything happened for a reason. Because I lived in those tunnels in Manhattan. And the bums raised me. And yes, those bums, they raped me, they sold me, they passed me around. But those same bums also showed me how to survive. They showed me coping skills, how to survive, even though some of them were toxic. Because I could have been dead. They could have killed me. But they showed me where to go get free food and clothes. I didn't have that, somebody telling me to go to school. I didn't have that. Somebody telling me to wash up, showing me how to be a woman. I had to survive the best way I knew how. And like I said, back in those days, they didn't have the rules they have for children. And I always used alcohol to block out my reality because I didn't have no coping skills to deal with my reality. I was always holding my head down. Couldn't look nobody in the eyes. And I was using drugs heavily, shooting needles in my neck, in my feet, under my arms. I had hands so big that if you would have touched one of them, pus would have jumped out all over you. And I had 11 children out there by different men. And I cannot tell you who the father of none of those children are. 2 born with AIDS. They didn't ask for this. If I tell you the truth about me, will you still love me? I can't hear you. I'm going to tell you the truth anyway. Because that's how it works.
That's right.
I don't think that this is just for me, that nobody wants to grow up and be a crackhead. I had those 11 children by those different men, 2 born with AIDS, and I'm crying, but these are not tears of pity or sadness. This is tears of joy because I'm way ahead of this story. Because I know what God done for me. Because when I say God scraped me up, he scraped me up, a disease-infested addict with AIDS, herpes, hepatitis C, venereal warts, bugs coming out my skin. And he gave me grace and mercy. And I wanted to be like y'all. And they say, if you got some hope and you got some faith, even if it's as small as a mustard seed, and you want to stop using, you will stop using. I didn't know nothing about Narcotics Anonymous. I didn't know nothing about the rooms. I didn't know nothing about the fellowship. And the beauty of this program is the spirituality of the recovery process has nothing to do with religion. But I knew there was a God. I didn't care what you call him. I knew there was a God. I knew it was a God. And they said, if you have faith, even if it's as small as a mustard seed, and you want to stop, that God will help you. Because I was tired. I was tired sticking needles in my neck and my feet, living like that, spreading AIDS. Spreading AIDS. Spreading AIDS. Spreading herpes. Spreading hepatitis C, venereal warts, all of that. I had so much stuff, I don't know what I had. So when I say that God scraped this addict up, he scraped this disease-infested addict up. He scraped me up. He just left me, he scraped me. And he stepped me up. I want to talk about being in the grips. Because, see, a lot of people, we forget about those grips. I know the disease of addiction is my dysfunctional thinking, behaviors, and attitudes, but I better remember the grips, the symptoms. That when I take the first one and I put it in me, I can't stop. I can't stop. I might want to stop, but I can't stop because it got me locked. And it's a jealous drug. Crack is a jealous drug. It don't want you to have nothing but it in your life. It wants to take the focus off of everything but it. Your kids, your mother, your father, you, your money, your house. It don't want you to have nothing. Nothing. And I'm talking about being in those grips. Whereas one of my babies was coming out of me. And I'm holding the baby's head between my knees in a lock position and the blood gushing down. And I can't put the stem down. And somebody knocking it out my hand to get me to the hospital. Because I couldn't put it down. If I could have put it down, I would have put that stuff down. But I couldn't. Getting hit by a Jeep. Going to get a hit. Back then it was $2. I don't know how much it costs now, and I don't want to know. But back then it was $2. And you know how your mind be so focused on going to get the next one? And this Jeep bounced me up in the air. Somehow I ended up under the car. And the man knew I was a crackhead, so he jumps out the Jeep, and he got a fistful of crumpled dollar bills. And he passed it to me under the Jeep, and I snatched that money, and I scrambled from under that Jeep, and I went straight to the crack spot. And then the next day, I'm walking on my heels. I can't walk. Talk about what happened to my feet. My girlfriend said, I'm not going to curse. She said, bitch. Don't you remember you got hit by a Jeep last night? Because my feet was broke. Both of my feet, my wrist was crushed. I'm talking about using it you don't want to use. I believe that shit's alive. Contorted life in an altered state. That's why when you put it in you, you take that hit and all of a sudden you all stuck on stupid and stupidly stuck. And I wanted to stop using. I didn't want to live like I was living anymore. I wanted to be like y'all, because like I said, I didn't have that. I didn't have that. I had somebody guiding me and telling me to go to school and then they go to school, wash your behind. I didn't have that. I wanted to be like y'all. And I had to go to God. And I had to say, God, please help me. And when I asked God to help me, I asked him for the deepest part of my being to help me. And I really, at that time, I had that small little mustard seed of faith. And he did. But let me tell you, it was a process of mental institutions, because I was suicidal. I was always trying to kill myself. I was a cutter. Rehabs, detoxes, in and out, in and out. And when I came in the rooms, I was old. I didn't understand what was going on, and I was always tweaking. You know, when you're in the grips and you're tweaking, and I couldn't sit down, and bouncing back and forth to the coffee pot. And the women used to talk about me, and the men say, look at her, she can't sit down. She got in that lopsided wig and then rimmed over shoes, and she keep hopping back and forth to the coffee pot. My sponsor said, God damn it, if she want to hop, let her hop. At least she ain't hopping to get a hit.
That's right.
So I continued to hop. And I sat in the front. And then, you know, I was always in these toxic relationships because, see, I didn't love myself. I didn't know what a real healthy relationship was. And every time I was in a relationship, I get a relationship with somebody who looked like some kind of celebrity. I came in with a midget looked like Mr. T. Then I met James Brown, Rick James, and the love of my life, Dennis Rodman. And I married them in the rooms. I married them, and I'm not talking about people with a little bit of clean time. I'm talking about these men had 10 years, 12 years, 14 years. They used to call me Mama Hammer Slammer Jammer. That was my street name. They would marry me. But I share this for the newcomer. Everything that look good to you ain't good for you. Because everybody ain't telling their story. And I wasn't ready to get honest. I was full blown.
Come on, Cher.
I had herpes. I had venereal warts. I had all of that. But see, God brought me to a place in my life now where it don't matter what people think and say about Anntionette B, because I got a God and a fellowship that love me unconditionally. It don't even matter to me about that family that don't talk to me, because God gave me a brand new family who love me for myself. And I had these secrets, and I kept going in and out the rooms, getting married to James Brown and Rick. Didn't tell him I had AIDS. Same day I get married, I'm back on the corner, spreading AIDS again. Spreading my nasty diseases again. Selling my wedding band, and they in the rooms taking the burning desire, talking about how they feel. Because, see, you need to listen to people's stories. Let the newcomer recover. And sometimes I need to listen to the old time story too.
How about that?
So it worked both ways. And I would get married in these rooms. And I continued to go in and out. In and out. I was always the most important person at every meeting. And I got tired of that shit. I really did. Sick of that. But I remember, let me tell you something. Each time you use, it gets worse. And even for me, it got worse. You would think, well, it done got so bad for her, it can't get no worse. Well, it got worse. Because the last time I used, I felt something eating me. And it felt like a rat was in my stomach eating me alive. Chewing chunks of my meat raw. And the pain was unbearable. And I had to go to God again and ask God to please help me because I couldn't stop. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how bad crack is. I had neuropathy. When you got neuropathy in your legs and 0 T cells, you ain't supposed to be able to walk. You ain't supposed to be here. That stuff had me jumping over buildings, rooftops, downstairs, flights of stairs. It's alive. It's contorted life in the altered state. That's why they used to call alcohol spirits. You put that stuff in you, and the demons like, woo! You know? No, seriously, you know? And I felt something eating me. And I had to go to God again, and I had to ask God to please help me. Because I wanted to stop using, I couldn't. I was back in that vicious cycle in the grips of a disease that has a character, a personality, and a nature. Cunning, baffling, and insidious. Cunning, meaning sly, expert, master in the art of manipulation, deceptive, deceitful, sabotaging. And on the flip side of that, it means cute, charming, and appealing. Baffling, to trick, to puzzle. Insidious, to lay in wait. Already well established before becoming a parent. How about that? Caught in the grips. Caught in the grips. Like I said, I went to God and I asked God to help me. And again, he helped me. And again, that last time I used, I was so messed up. I had a herpes breakout all over me. 0 T cells. Full blown. And this pain, unbearable pain in my stomach. That when I think about it now and knock tears to my eyes because I want nobody to feel that pain that I felt. This thing was eating me. And I was making so much noise and just screaming and hollering that they gave me an MRI. And when they gave me the MRI, they said, Anntionette, you can't do detox. You got cancer. This cancer had rotted out half my stomach. That crack had me running around with a rotten stomach. You don't want to be in the AIDS unit back then. Back then, they used to call it GRID. Before it was named HIV, it was called GRID. And the AIDS unit was so nasty. And they put me in that room, and it was just me and God. Me and God. Me and God. So nobody came to see me. And when they came in there, the doctors and the nurses, they would have on a little pen light. They'd be all wrapped up, you know, scared to touch me, standing a distance from me. And they said, Anntionette, you got to go to the hospital because you're going to die. But let me tell you something. God, ain't no doctor in charge. God is in charge. And I said, I am not going to die, and I'm not going to the hospital either. And And they said, no, you got to go to the hospital. I said, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm going home to Dennis because I had married Dennis. And they said, well, we don't know who Dennis is, but you got to go to the hospital. I said, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm going home to Dennis. Right. So when it came time for me to come home from the hospital, Dennis didn't show up. But one of my 11 kids came, my oldest son, and I was in a wheelchair. I had life-sustaining equipment. And they gave me a 24-hour visiting nurse that split shift. So like when one shift finished, another one come in. And when they got me home, Dennis had robbed out my complete apartment. He stole everything. My onion that was in the refrigerator, my one ice cube, all the light bulbs, everything that worked by electricity, Dennis stole it. And when I went to the window, all the crackhead girls on the block was walking around with my wigs on. And my clothes. And you know, I like the colors wig, the red, the blue, the purple. And they looking up at me talking about, yeah, B, we was in your house with your man. You talking about humility? I wanted to fly out that window, but I was all messed up. I couldn't do nothing about it. And let me tell you something about being in a toxic relationship. Because that's what I call it. Loving somebody more than you love yourself. Trying to use somebody else to fill a void inside that only God could fill.
Come on, Mom. Wait, somebody else.
This man, I was so codependent. I was so needy. I was toxic myself. See, we attract who we are. Because I was just as sick as he was, but in a different way. See, he was an old, broke down, busted looking, Dennis looking rodman, thinking he was, you know, a $2 pimp, Mac Daddy. He had a blonde weave. You know what I'm saying? A checkerboard suit. But I can't see good.
Okay.
Love, let me tell you something. Love is not only blind, sometimes it's deaf, dumb, and stupid. Deaf, dumb, and stupid. Because I was so locked in this relationship and I couldn't let Dennis go because I was in love with Dennis. Ooh, that was my man. And I wasn't even screwing Dennis. If I tell you the truth, yes, will y'all still love me? Because I'm going to drop it.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you anyway. That's how it works. No, I'm talking about honesty on a deeper level because sometimes, and it's not my fourth step that I'm sharing, so I need to put that out there. Because my fourth step, I don't go, it's between me, God, and my sponsor. This is just a tip of my iceberg. Dennis was bisexual. I love bisexual people. It don't matter to me. And Dennis was so toxic that he would be in the room having sex with men, women, and chickens. Let me let that sit in. Yeah, I said that. Yeah. Chickens. And they be in there talking about, oh, I feel so good. The chicken going, buck, buck, buck. But I'm talking about being locked alone in a toxic-ass relationship. Because I was just as sick as he was. I was in there watching porn, too. And I'm jealous of the chicken. Rolling my eyes at the damn chicken. Jealous. Now I'm talking about sick.
Yes.
Sick as hell. Crazy as hell. Crazy. You know, sometimes you don't need the drug because it's going to come a time in your life when you're going to think some more crazy shit and do some more crazy stuff and the drugs ain't got nothing to do with it. You're going to be like, wow, where did that crazy shit come from? It came from you. For real.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
It may not be like my story, but you know, you can identify in your own way.
For real.
I'm jealous of the chicken,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to get clean. I wanted to get clean. I wanted to stop using. I might have was all messed up, busted up, toxified, but God loves fixing broken people.
Woo! Yes.
He loved fixing broken people. Just because I was all messed up, you think he loved me less? I know he loved me. Whew. I wanted to stay clean. Let me tell you about how awesome Narcotics Anonymous is. Let me tell you how awesome our program is. I got on that phone and I called the 800 number. And I told them, I said, my name is Anntionette B. I got AIDS. I got cancer. I'm on life-sustaining equipment right now. I said, but I want to stay clean. Please help me. Let me tell you how awesome our program is. Brooklyn did not have a homebound at the time. The Bronx had a homebound committee. People from another area of New York. And they said, Anntionette, they said, we'll bring you a meeting. How many days a week? Do you want a meeting? And I said, I'm all messed up. I said, but I don't have nothing airborne you could catch. And I got a man in here running out using. But I want to stay clean. And when y'all come 4 times a week, do you know that they came out for me for 2.5 years? Through the rain, through the snow, through the sleet, and brought me a meeting. The homebound committee. Narcotics Anonymous is awesome. Then it gets better. When Brooklyn, because I live in Brooklyn, when Brooklyn found out that I was so sick, they didn't have their homebound. They decided they got together. This is one of the people who originated right here, Kathy M., and I love her to death. And they started a homebound in Brooklyn. Then Brooklyn came out. Then I wanted to celebrate my first year. They made it possible for me to celebrate my first year in my house. And they came from all over. They came from all the boroughs. And I had Narcotics Anonymous' very first homebound anniversary sanctioned by Narcotics Anonymous. When it's sanctioned by Narcotics Anonymous, that means it could go on the meeting list. And it could be announced in the meeting that it's a homebound meeting. Our program is awesome. And I need to tell you, they didn't just bring me a meeting. I never shared nowhere without talking about service. Because I have step 1 through 12 in my life. And once you go through step 1 to 12, you know it's all about service. We must give back what was so freely given to us. We must give it back. I can't thank God enough for all he has done for me. And I know he didn't bring me all the way to PA to say psych.
Right.
He brought me here to spread the message of hope and tell you about the homebound committee, because we have members who are dying. And sometimes people think that just because they don't see you in a while, that you don't went out and use, and they're in the hospital sick. They dying with cancer. They're dying with AIDS or whatever. And we're there. Because in Narcotics Anonymous, we're never alone. When we say never alone, we're never alone. And they was there for me. They didn't just give me meetings. They gave me book study. Kathy became my sponsor. We did step work. Women changed Pampers. People put my medicine in my machine. The men would carry me from room to room. And it was a process from the wheelchair to the walker to the cane. But I'm here.
Yes.
And today, I'm the coordinator of the Homebound Committee.
Yes.
Of the region. And I'm walking around with heels.
Yeah.
You know what people, they want to count you out.
Come on.
You don't let nobody count you out. You don't let nobody count you out. It's not over till it's over. There's only one God, and we are not it. There's only one God, and we are not it. I am so grateful. I'm here today to tell you about a service, Homebound, that a lot of people don't even know about. A lot of areas didn't even know that we had a Homebound committee. And anybody want to get it started, I have the information package that I will pass out after this meeting. To anybody who want to get it started in their area, it's a loving service. It's even for me a little bit more deeper than H&I. Because we go up in those hospitals. We go into people's homes who can't make it to a meeting. You don't just have to be sick. You could be pregnant. Can't make it to a meeting. You broke your leg. You can't make it to a meeting. I can't share enough about Narcotics Anonymous because God is so awesome. And let me tell you something. I want to tell you about secrets. Get down there, deep in your spirit, newcomers, and talk about all that stuff that's been eating you up, toxifying your spirit that may cause you to go out time and time and time and time again and destroy yourself. Talk about how you feel. Spit it out. And sometimes these relationships ain't healthy for us because it makes us take the focus off ourselves. Because sometimes God done already removed toxic people out of our lives and we call it back. We call it back because we in love. I told you about love. Told you. It's not only blind, it's deaf, dumb, and stupid sometimes. And know that you're worthy today. Stop counting your problems and start counting your blessings. Stop counting your problems and start counting your blessings. Today, I stop telling my God how great my problems is. And I tell my God, my problems, how great my God is. I'm a grateful, blessed, recovering addict. I incorporate spiritual principles into my life. Honesty in the first, hope in the second, faith in the third, courage in the fourth, trust in the fifth, willingness in the sixth, humility in the seventh, forgiveness in the eighth, restitution in the ninth, perseverance in the 10, spirituality in 11, and most of all, service. Because like I said, we must give back what was so freely given to us. So if you knew what you do was sitting in the back,
Right.
you need to be sitting in the front.
Right.
Looking the speaker directly in the mouth. That way you get what you need. Because sometimes people be coarse, talking, flopping, hip-hopping, boxing on the side, or whatever they do. But if you sitting in the front, you get what you need. Let me tell you, those secrets was killing me. When I came in here full-blown with AIDS, it was killing me. It was causing me to go out time and time again because I had that secret. I didn't want nobody to know. I worry about y'all knowing. I want y'all to know my business. But let me say something. No, but listen. Right. I had no business. Because when I raised my hand, because I was dying, I said, God, I got to do this for me. And I raised my hand, and I said, my name is Anntionette B, and I got this secret. I got to get it off of me because it's killing me. Because I wasn't doing what I needed to do for myself because I had this secret. And I said, I got AIDS, and I had it for multiple years. Double digit. You know what they said? Yeah, Anntionette, talk about it. I said, oh, shit. I said, I'm going to test them. I said, I'm going to test them. I said, I got herpes, too. Oh, we love you the more, Anntionette. Oh, my little hero. You little hero, you. Y'all recovering addicts.
Yes.
I love you all. Without you, there's no me. Without you, there's no me. I want to thank you all because, like I said, you know it's a process for me to get my kids back in my life. I have 2 born with AIDS. I'm still learning this process, you know, because, you know, I know God has forgiven me. God allows U-turns. And I turned my life around because God showed me through y'all and the love and the hope of this fellowship. And He gave me another chance to live. And I want to give back what was so freely given to me. And no matter what, I share it to say, I want to hear y'all say too, no matter what, we don't use.
That's right.
We don't have to use. I don't care. I don't give a damn what happened. We ain't got to use.
Right.
I love you. My name is Anntionette B. Thanks for letting me share.
I don't even want to sit down now. It's too hot in that chair. Okay. I don't really know what time it is, but the next thing it says is that the meeting should be an hour and 15 minutes. Has it been there yet? All right, well, I'm going to open the floor till they tell me something different. Go ahead, sister. Hey, Colleen. Woo. Go ahead, Colleen.
Hey, I've been kind of like, this is my first time in Berlin. I came here about 10 years ago.
Welcome. Welcome, sister.
And I haven't died. You know, and I'm like real messed up right now. It's like, how the hell can I be in a Narcotics Anonymous conference with a design youth? I was fine before I got here.
Okay.
I got 39 days clean.
All right, yay!
I'm making my meetings. I'm doing the things that Joe suggested for me to do because I'm one of them addicts who constantly going in and out. And like when I got here, we checked into the room and everything, and we went over into that little space where they got the food and shit, and I turned around like they got a bar right next to it.
That's all
And
right.
I've been messed up ever since.
We don't use no matter
You know,
what.
like, and I've been walking around for like the last 2 hours, like, you know, people from my area and everything. Like, I ain't told my sponsor, I ain't told none of my support group, I ain't said nothing to nobody because it's like I was like coming hitting something to me.
That's what our flyer
I
look like.
came to, there was people from my area. You know, and I'm not the type of addict, man, like I'm a chameleon. You know, like I said,
Welcome.
I dress up the outside real well. You know, I smile, how you doing, oh, Colleen, and, you know, and the bottom line is like a lot of days, man, like I don't tell y'all that I got desire to use because I want to fit in. You know, because I have used so many times. Like I have been in and out on these films, man, for years. And like I'm in a conference, man, like y'all are having fun, y'all joyous and free, man, and y'all clean.
So are you.
I got inside of you, man. Like, I don't want to be sitting here right now. I really want to be sitting at that bar.
Come on, Ma.
And then my disease is telling me, well, it's too many people around here, so maybe if I go out the front door, go out the back door, I can hit the other hotel next door.
We over there too. Just saying.
No, listen to you share and wow. Wow. You know, wow. Like when I think about like my story, man, and I think about what God has brought me from. You know, I know it's only through His grace and His mercy that He allows me to keep coming back. You know, and I keep trying to. I'm still struggling with this alcohol as a disease thing. You know, I'm still struggling with that. Like I put that rock down it's been 2 years and 2 months now. About 22 months. You know, and I still keep trying to justify that thing. You know, because when I put that down, and it was only through going to prison.
Okay.
You know, I was only going through prison, so the year that I got there was the year that I was in prison, you know, accumulated with the year I stayed clean on the street. You know, but I continued to dip and dab with the drink thing. You know, and I still work. You know, I have a beautiful home. I got a loving and caring husband, man of God. When I'm cussing, he praying. You know, this man has been in my life, man, from, you know, and I was listening to some of the things you say. Like, and I had, man, I'm telling you, like, my disease has took me some places, man. You know, and then I'm listening up here talking, you was talking about the AIDS thing, man, and how free the UK. I ain't even never been tested. I ain't never been tested.
Okay.
You know, because the bottom line, like, I know how I live. You know, I'm sending the fear.
Okay.
I just ain't been tested. You know, and that's all I did. That's how I got one more. I got 7 children, and all 7 of my children are products of my addiction.
Okay.
3 of them in my life. My girls, they don't want nothing to do with me. And you just said that thing so freely, man, like this. And I know I got some shit going on with me. You know, periodic sicknesses and some female stuff going on. I don't get it checked out.